If you're driving, please remember to use your car's Bluetooth speaker while listening to the AM Drive. Sports talk is not worth your safety or the safety of others.
Grab your popcorn and sit back.
Jump the gun. Oh, no, give me more than that. Okay, go this way. That was dumb. We are.
How could I tell you when nobody wants to? Your favorite words I will show.
Aaron again could not see our intro, and that's the faces he makes behind the scenes, folks, is incredible. Happy Monday to everyone in the sports universe. From the sports universe of Las Vegas, Nevada, it's Aaron Crouch. And from Savannah-ish, Georgia, I am Michael Carvelis. Aaron, how are you feeling over there?
I'm feeling good, but usually I can see the intro. I couldn't see it today.
We'll be fine.
Are you sure that the people could even see it? I feel like they were looking at us.
No, they could see us, and if they did see me, I mean, they saw the intro. But if they did see me and I was lip syncing, how can I tell you when nobody wants to? Then I feel sorry for them.
I hope you're right. I hope nobody could see us because you're right. I had a funny face on, but you know what? College football's back. We're technically 3 days away from the NFL season. We're dropping the conference previews here as well. We did those last night, and man, it's just, it's so weird. I don't know how to say, like, I feel like every year at the end of football season, I'm like, man, I'm glad it's over. I'm not going to be as into it as I was this year.
And then it comes around.
I'm getting older, and then week 1 of college football comes around, and I'm back. Like just when I thought I was out, they just pulled me back in. So I'm ready for it again. The Knights won, the Noles won, the Gators lost this week. So that might be my best of the week.
To who exactly? That's rough. Mike and Aaron Drive.com. For all of you drive safers out there, it's the best in our merchandise, first and foremost. And of course, all the great links from our link tree, like Fanatics, where I got this awesome shirt, this amazing shirt of the promising team that is the Colts. Aaron's got his hoodie. Aaron's got that nice. That hat came from Fanatics too, right?
This one did not. This one actually came from the Las Vegas Aviators Stadium.
I keep asking that, and I always get the same answer. One of these days, I'll figure that out.
This one came from Fanatics. Oh, no, I'm sorry. This one.
That was dirty.
This one came from Fanatics.
I like the LV one better, but for the sake of the show, I like the Skull one better.
I like the LVs too. But yeah, for the sake of the show, we're company men. So rock the AM Drive, and this was totally from Fanatics.
Oh, my word. Terrible. Best and worst of the weekend. And as always, Aaron, I'm very excited to hear your worst on this Labor Day that people like to celebrate.
Yeah, first of all, happy Labor Day to all of you. I don't work in an industry that gets Labor Day off. However, I do have Mondays off. So I do celebrate.
That's right.
My worst of the weekend, I was torn between two teams. I decided to go with the team with higher expectations, albeit they still won, and that's Ohio State. Ohio State football looked mighty pedestrian in what was an otherwise exciting weekend of football. Now you say, who's the other team you were thinking about? Nebraska. Matt Rule's debut. They're still snake bitten right now, and hopefully they get that together because they got Coach Prime on the schedule this week. But for me, the worst of the weekend with everything, with all the offensive firepower, despite the the new clock changes, Ohio State just absolutely, to me, they just looked awful. I know they won 23-3. The defense looked great, but the offense to me was supposed to be the shining star of this team. And with Marvin Harrison Jr., obviously, and Kyle McCord being named the starter, I'm going to hope that this was just kind of the preseason for them. But they did not look like the number 3 team in the nation, in my opinion.
It's almost like Ohio State as the name gets them that honor, but that's obviously a thing in college football that we already knew.
We knew preseason rankings. Yeah. I mean, we knew that
Colorado doesn't like that saying, but yeah.
TCU with basically a brand new team getting
Whoa. We'll get to that, but okay. Yeah, you're funny.
Yeah, my worst of the weekend is Ohio State.
That's a good one. My worst of the weekend is finding out that JT Daniels is playing on like his fourth college team. And it really gets to a bigger picture for me with the transfer portal and how stupid it's going to look. Like, when you're in college, Aaron, how many colleges do you attend to get your education? One, maybe two if the first one screws up. Come on, man.
But, see, the thing is you look at this, how funny it is. Help me out here. He started at Georgia.
Yeah, Washington.
Did he start at Wake Forest?
I'll get the stats for you.
Anyways, I believe he started at Georgia and then went to Wake Forest, or vice versa. Then went to Pitt, I believe. And then
it was Pitt.
And then is now at Rice. The order of which you transfer, literally, like, your quality of program goes down. Like, it's very rare a guy transfers from Georgia to Alabama or from, Oklahoma to USC in the case of Caleb Williams. But
he started as bad USC, which I do remember.
Oh yeah, he got beat out by Keaton Slovis.
He was the guy too at USC when they first started.
Yeah.
Then USC in 2019, Georgia 2020, 2021, West Virginia. That's what I thought.
West Virginia. Yeah, it wasn't Pitt. Yeah, it was West
and then
Virginia.
Chicken and Rice.
Who am I thinking of that went to Wake Forest that I thought went to Georgia? Well, anyway, it's not important.
That was bad. JT Daniels, shame on you. I think JT is his actual first name because there's no dots in between. Huh. No periods.
It would be weird, but
yes, it would be.
My
best
of the
though?
weekend.
Yeah.
My best of the weekend. This might not matter to a lot of people, and I know the low-hanging fruit is Coach Prime.
Oh, let's do it.
But my best of the weekend is former UCF quarterback and current Fresno State quarterback Mikey Keene taking the place of our boy Jake Haener to walk into Purdue and get a comeback victory with 4 touchdowns, 39-35. Hats off. I thought Mikey Keene played much better than John Reese Plumlee did last year for UCF. UCF decided to keep Plumlee. Keene moved on. So I'm happy to see him succeed. Again, it's only 1 week, but 4 touchdowns to walk in and beat Purdue. I'm happy for the guy.
Beck's Boilermakers.
Boilermakers.
You reached on that one.
I did, but I thought it was funny.
I mean, if your mascot's a train, I can't help you.
It's true.
I'm so bad. Okay, my best of the weekend was Oregon dropping the rest in peace Kobe. 81 points. Now, obviously, it's September. That doesn't count because it wasn't in August. But I know 8/24 is Mamba Day, but we're not even going to try to do that one. But no, I mean, I feel like Oregon, they kind of under the radar. Remember last year they had all this hype and they blew the first game. Then all of a sudden nobody cared. But it's
Didn't they play somebody big last year?
They played Georgia to start, I think.
That's right, and they got destroyed.
By their defensive coordinator's guy, the team that he just came from. But Bo Nix and this team, I mean, I forget who they played. It was at this school of deaf and blind.
Portland State, I think it was.
It was Portland State. That's great. But Damian Lillard might as well have showed up for that team and scored.
Didn't he play for Weber State?
Yes, you fool, but he plays for the Portland Trailblazers. That's the joke, Aaron.
Oh, not for long.
81 points for Oregon.
Yeah, we can make September 2nd Kobe Day as well in honor of Oregon putting up a Kobe. Maybe they're the Portland State Raptors because I think Kobe put up 81 on the Raptors. So I reached for that one too. Rest in peace, Kobe.
No one's ever said that.
I like that one. 81 for them, and wasn't it like 74 for OU? I know we'll talk about that later, but yeah, the day of big numbers.
Venables was defensive coach, I was told. Who knew?
Yeah, who knew? Maybe he could put some points on the board too.
Right. Well, let's get to Aaron. You said it twice already. So say it again for us.
Hashtag Coach Prime. I can't not say that when I'm talking about Deion Sanders now at this point.
Who's Deion Sanders?
He goes by Coach Prime.
Oh, okay, I was about to say. Okay. On our show, at least. So, Aaron, I do remember scratching my head just a little bit when you said, and I didn't pick Colorado to win. I'm not going to do it like that. I said plus 20.5 was feasible.
Yeah.
Aaron came on this show. Well, last year, Max Dugan beat out this guy, and he was a starter before he got hurt. And they've got some returning players. That's fine, but something about this team in Colorado I just feel it feels good. No, Aaron said they got some returning stars. And I think Aaron saw the number 17 in front of the team and thought that was better than his better judgment. Colorado pumped them, threw them around the yard. And did you say Shedeur Sanders is terrible too?
Why have to recheck? We have to check the tape. I don't think I said Shedeur Sanders is terrible. You
said pretty much the same thing.
I'll have to check the tape here, but I said, first of all, I want no part of this game because I feel like Colorado.
Yes, but for the sake of the show, you said cover.
I said for the sake of the show, I think that TCU would probably have their way with them. I'm not high on this team.
I'm not either because I don't think TCU's any good. I think Colorado beat a nobody.
And I based a lot of it on the quarterback and the head coach, both of which did their job. I mean, they put up 42 points. Sonny Dykes is an offensive mastermind. His defense and his defensive coordinator failed him in this spot. Anyways, you're going to blame the whole team. I get it. I have to check the tape on this because you made me make a pick on this game, and that was probably where I would have leaned. But I wanted no part of this game for the simple fact that Coach Prime,
thank you,
literally has 58 transfers of 3, 4, and 5-star recruits. This team could be something. I still don't think they will be. I still think they're going to be a 5-win team at best.
Wow.
But I will say that I think Deion has proven that he can hang with the middle tier ranks of college. He belongs in Power 5 football. No doubt about it. He is a motivator. He is a leader. I don't necessarily like what he does to motivate and lead, but it doesn't matter if you get dubs. I know it rubbed a lot of people the wrong way when he came in there and he said, I'm bringing my luggage and it's Louis and, all y'all better start hitting the portal. I know I had no problem with that. But these other aspects, like embarrassing a reporter because he thinks your team's not going to be very good. Oh, you don't believe in us now? No. Well, who cares what this reporter says? You want to talk about being above the noise and above the you want to take the moral. I didn't approve of his post game comments particularly so. But
Aaron used to be part of the media, just so you guys know the little backstory on that.
But it's such a catch-22 for me. You're right. If I write and I ball wash this, if I ball wash you and I write lovey-dovey love notes in an article or talk about you positively it's because I'm a homer and this, that, and the other, and you're just a product of the coalition. But the minute you start having a shred of doubt, now I don't know exactly what this guy wrote because I'm not going to go back and read his comments, but basically. To summarize it, he didn't think Colorado would be a very good team because they just wouldn't mesh well in their first year. It's a fair assessment.
Still a thing.
You've won one game, Deion, Coach Prime.
Oh, yeah.
You've won one game. Call me when you're playing Oregon. Call me when you're playing USC. Call me when you're in the Rose Bowl.
I think Oregon and USC might destroy them, but yeah.
Right. And again, that's not to take away from the fact that I think he belongs. I think he might be building something, or he may be using this as a platform to literally be a top-tier head coach in one of the blue bloods, because let's face it, Colorado just ain't it anymore. I was still shocked when he took that specific job, but it may have been the only one on the table. Anyways, I just don't love this whole you don't believe in us. It's one game. It's one game.
I bet you the reporter's feeling like, for the 24-hour news cycle, he felt pretty bad. But he's got to be seeing that the bigger picture. They've got one win. My article still stands. It's not bad yet.
Vegas has you at 4. I'm generous to give you 5.
Oh, wow.
But, yeah, I mean, Travis Hunter.
And 5 is no
Shedeur,
slouch.
We'll see. Oh, Hunter. Yeah, Hunter's great.
But
But his
saying,
kid,
5 wins is no slouch, though. For this team.
For this team. But that's the question. Is like, it's a catch. I know I keep using catch. It's a weird rock and a hard play situation. Like, they were 1-11 last year. So if he wins 3, 4, 5 games, it's an incredible improvement. But they're still not a bowl team. Yet he grabbed 3, 4, and 5-star recruits out of the pipeline. So theoretically, on paper, this team should be good, right?
Yeah, and that's why I was going to play devil's advocate with you on that. Like, even though I said I supported whatever his name is.
Coach Brown.
Okay, we're not going to overdo that this year, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, I feel like you're trying to make me overdo it.
Right. So it's your fault. So I feel like I have to push back on Deion Sanders' hype a little bit here. And this will be taboo to say because you said you had no problem with him hitting the transfer portal, all these guys. I'm not on the same boat as that. I do have a problem with it because we're still not used to it yet. And for him to just go in there and just like replace all these guys, like, what are you accomplishing by winning with a bunch of really good players? Like the whole fact of him at Colorado, people painted this narrative that they were a bad team. Yes, last year they were, but that team had 1- and 2-star recruits. Let's not paint the picture differently.
Oh, I agree.
Now, chemistry-wise, it's impressive they did just beat TCU. But is TCU the number 17 ranked team in the nation? We'll have to see it in the future. But for this week, they were. Congrats to Coach Prime. But right now, he's got a lot of work to do. But saying that he just took over Colorado is a little bit of a less weight than it used to be.
All right, well, let me preface this by saying I hate the transfer portal, but it exists. And if this is a way to make you a successful coach, I mean, how many times Bill Belichick exploits whatever's available? So,
like Spygate.
No, stop. Which was legal at the time, but let's not go down that road. If the transfer portal's open and these guys all want to go play for Deion, who's he to say no? I get that. And again, I don't even mind the speech. It's a little bit arrogant, a little bit whatever, but I didn't mind it. Like, hey, basically, like, I have a system that I'm going to do, and you guys aren't a part of it. I'm sorry. I'm telling you now, rather than you stick around in August and not make my team. So, and let's face it, you guys were 1-11 last year, and you really shouldn't have won the 1. You beat Cal on a lucky play, but I don't know. I mean, there's guys on ESPN already making Shedeur the Heisman favorite.
Oh,
it's this is all 1 week reaction, and I think the problem, the real problem is they could beat Nebraska next week too and be 2-0.
Oh, don't do it to Matt Rule.
The line literally jumped from Nebraska -8 to Colorado -2.5. It jumped 10 points.
And I still think Colorado's going to cover that.
I don't. I think Nebraska's going to beat them.
Ooh. AM Drive Cinco coming up for you on that one? Maybe?
We'll see. We'll see how the week goes. It's early. It's early, but I think Nebraska played good football. It'll be tough. It's a team that runs the ball and plays good defense versus a team that airs the ball and plays no defense. So we'll see.
Interesting. Florida State dropped LSU pretty easily. And Aaron, you did pick Florida State to win. You had it as part of your teaser bet, I think.
Yeah.
Which is good, and I'm happy that Florida State did win. But I compared Brian Kelly to a guy who I knew, who I watched all too much in Mark Richt. Won 10 games every year. But those 2 games you needed the bastard to win, he couldn't do it. Because he was just a tier 2 coach. He's painted as a tier 1 coach. But he's a lower tier 1 coach, in my opinion. And Brian Kelly always choked at Notre Dame, no matter how good the team was. Even if you think it wasn't that good compared to Alabama, they got smoked every time they played anybody good. And now Brian Kelly gets smoked and calls this a, quote, total failure. Well, congratulations, sir. You're an idiot, and you can't coach big games. I love that he said total failure because his entire coaching career was a total failure after the hype that he gets. What is your thoughts on this game?
I think that's a bit excessive. I think
Wow.
the situation. Huh?
He said total failure.
Oh, the game's a total failure. I don't think he's a total failure.
All right.
The situation here is, you're right. He didn't have his team ready to play. Well, that's not true. He had his team ready to play in the first half. He didn't make adjustments. This is going to be a situation for him all year. I mean, he's going to consistently be ranked high because of the name, LSU. But this is an LSU team that can't run the football. I mean, can you remember the last time LSU couldn't run the football?
Zach Mettenberger was the quarterback for this team. They could run the football so well.
I mean, you're talking about Leonard Fournette, Clyde Edwards, the list goes on and on for these guys. But this is just simply a product, in my opinion. This is taking the fan out of it. This is simply a product of Florida State being better. They're a better team. Mike Norvell has done a tremendous job retooling this team from the Willie Taggart era, and I genuinely think they're a national title contender. If they could block for Jordan Travis.
Wow. Are you calling him Heisman already? Like, is he your number one guy right now?
No,
well,
Caleb
Williams is number one. We'll get into
that. Jordan Travis has the ability to be the Heisman winner. Should Caleb slip, Caleb not play well, voter fatigue. But again, this is week one. I think he's number two. Yeah.
Okay. Because Drake May, you don't think, I mean, he's played one game, and you could argue that North Carolina beating South Carolina is not as good as Florida State smashing LSU.
Yeah,
that's fair. So. Oh, yeah. But I like that you know the Florida State stuff, like, because you pay attention to that stuff. Because it helps you with your bets moving forward. Like, it helps me with, like, what I know. I feel like I know the Colts and like some Georgia teams more than I know other teams because I'm forced to watch them sometimes, or I'm more invested in them.
Sometimes you let your heart get in the way of your head. Sometimes, though.
Who?
I just mean when you start betting on your team or against your team.
Right. I thought you were making reference to the NFC preview.
No.
I picked the Giants.
Which isn't even your team. You're just so infatuated with Daniel Jones that you will sometimes be a little blind.
Yes. Blue glasses, Manning branded underwear. It's great.
Manning branded underwear.
Ohio State looked terrible. But I said doesn't look so good to be neutral here. Aaron, we know the hype is Marvin Harrison Jr., but I'll admit, I keep telling Ohio State fans that they don't like me either on this. I think Ryan Day is like Brian Kelly. He'll win 10, 11 games every year, maybe 12. But he's been losing to Michigan a couple years in a row. This year looks no different if we're doing week one overreactions. Ryan Day better be happy he does win 10, 11 games a year because Urban Meyer, I don't know if they'd ever do it, but Urban Meyer could come knocking on the door, dude.
I didn't think about that. I think it would take a few years before the stink of Urban Meyer washes off for them to really. I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, I'm serious. Like, Urban Meyer, there's a stink to him right now, on and off the field. Right. Ryan Day feels like a guy that he's like Todd Bowles. You were the original guy's guy, and you didn't get this job because you deserved it. That's what it feels like to me. Now, this might be a year where Ohio State loses 3 or 4 games if this is the output. I mean, I could see, obviously, Michigan beating them.
Yep.
I could see Penn State beating this team. I could even possibly see a Wisconsin team beating this team. I have to check and see if they even play each other. I have to look at their schedule. Wisconsin. But yeah, Wisconsin. They got Wisconsin and Penn State back to back. And then they have Notre Dame coming up here at the end of the month as well. I mean, this could be a 3 or 4 loss team.
Michigan and Notre Dame is going to slash with Sam Hartman at quarterback now.
Right, and I mean, obviously they're looking to avenge their loss last year in Marcus Freeman's first year. So
Yep.
I'll play
Good game, too.
I'll play the bold proclamation and say this is a 3-loss team this year.
You know what I like about that? I like that you said because last year, like Notre Dame played them well with C.J. Stroud at quarterback.
Sure.
This is what we're getting now. Oh, I like my chances.
I'm just saying, yeah. Like I didn't see much in Kyle McCord, and to me, when you've got a guy like Marvin Harrison Jr., like 2 catches for 18 yards, nah, it ain't it.
Especially after what he did last year's playoff game against Georgia.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
All right. Michigan without Harbaugh is an interesting one here. Some of they talked more after the game. I didn't catch any of the interviews, but they were kind of like saying, we missed the guy, and J.J. McCarthy was saying, oh, well, he needs to come back. But, well, I agree with that, but NCAA is still holding on to a leash that they think they still have on guys because their organization is in shambles. But you like Michigan this year, or you think they're not good enough to you?
You know, with Alabama and Georgia starting basically new quarterbacks, that
Right.
I wasn't really impressed with either, despite the competition they played this week. That may change in the year, but I don't think there's a real head and shoulders champion right now. Like last year, we knew it was kind of Georgia. I mean, unless they, it was going to be Georgia, and unless the wagon fell off and Stetson Bennett started collecting Social Security checks, they were going to win the freaking national title. I think Michigan. I watched a little bit of it. I don't think I watched enough to get a great analysis of this game, but I feel like Michigan played safe. Okay. They didn't want to expose too much. They probably didn't have a full playbook, in my opinion, because it's East Carolina and no offensive coordinator and no head coach.
Yeah.
I think we're going to look at Michigan in these first 3 games without Jim Harbaugh. It's ECU, UNLV, and Bowling Green, where they're going to get big numbers, and they might not cover them because they're running an abridged version of their playbook. Now, I know that I think it's Shamar Moore or Sharon Moore, whoever their offensive coordinator's name is, he will be back next week. So this could all be just not real. But I don't think they're going to open up the playbook as much as they want. They want to keep Blake Corum healthy. He's a Heisman candidate as well. And what's his name? The quarterback, McCarthy? Yeah, J.J. McCarthy. I think
not a fan of his.
I think he's perfectly capable. I mean, he was definitely better than McNamara for sure, and McCaffrey, Christian's brother.
Right.
I think they're one of the best 4 teams in the league. I think number 2, you could interchange them. Number 2. I mean, obviously, I don't think with what we saw with Ohio State, they're not a top 4 team. But again, preseason rankings don't mean anything. But I think Michigan's a top team right now.
There you go. And after they play Baptist State University, I think that they'll be okay.
That's what I'm saying. They're going to get UNLV. They'll probably beat them by 4 touchdowns. Same with Bowling Green, but they're not going to put up 56, 60 points in these games. So.
Well, I feel sorry for Bowling Green.
They're getting paid to go up there.
That's right. Oklahoma scored 73. Oregon scored 81, as I mentioned earlier. Aaron, these 2 teams impressed me because, again, Oklahoma's supposed to be some defensive-minded team, and they still got some of that Lincoln Riley leftovers, I guess. And Oregon, no one was talking about them, but they're supposed to have a good coach. We don't know yet, and they got Bo Nix, who's been around college football since he was 16 years old, it seems like at this point. These were 2 impressive wins this week.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, look at the competition. I don't care who you are. You putting up 73 and 81 points. That's still pretty freaking
tough.
impressive.
Right.
It's just so crazy. But I mean, you look at Oklahoma's quarterback. Obviously, it goes with him. You know who that is?
Burnix. Oh, Oklahoma's Dylan Gabriel, right? Still.
Hey, do you remember where Dylan Gabriel used to play football at?
Yes, yeah.
He did. Anyways.
Did he play good in this game? I didn't check.
They had 19 to 22, 308 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
In the first half, yeah.
And I think he had one on the ground, too.
In the first half.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah, because his backup was 11 of 11 for 114 yards and a touchdown.
Oh, by the way, one of my best of the weekend I forgot was like this guy who had like 37 to 41. I've like never seen a stat line like that in my life. I gotta find it again, but he went like 38 completions for 41 attempts. I was like, good God.
That's pretty dang good. That's like Madden type numbers.
I've never seen that. Yeah, but go ahead.
But yeah, I mean, like, you can't get too high on these situations, but it is nice to see these Madden, run it up the type scores when you play FCS East, of opponents. So we'll see what happens here. I don't know. Oklahoma, it's Oklahoma and Texas in their last season in the Big 12. We'll see who wins this one, but yeah, it's nice to start off with. It's always nice to start off with these beat downs of the opponents.
Agreed. And Caleb Williams, again, I mean, he had an advantage by playing, one game early, but he did again. Looked pretty good, albeit under Lincoln Riley, but the dude's a freak. Still having number one by far.
Yeah, I think it's his to lose, which I know sounds crazy because the only thing I think that's working against him is the two-time Heisman winner situation.
That's crazy.
But again, like, we're looking at this right now. I mean, he was like 30 to 1 last year. Like, these guys come from that like middle of the pack, like Michael Penix Jr. 20 to 1, Jordan Travis I think was like 18 to 1. Like, who knows if Colorado keeps playing this way, Shadur Sanders could legitimately be a Heisman candidate, or even Travis Hunter. I mean, if Travis Hunter does this every week and Colorado's like an 8 or 9 win team, I mean, how do you not hand it to him?
I do like that your dark horse was Michael Penix Jr.
What do you mean?
You don't remember that joke?
Oh, yeah, no, I do. Yeah. Okay.
Come on.
Because he's black, yes.
Oh, what? Wow. I thought it was interesting, but you make a good point. Drake May outdueled Spencer Rattler. In other news, the sky is blue. Any thoughts?
The sky is not only blue, the sky is Carolina blue. Although it hasn't been.
That was a good one.
It hasn't been Carolina blue out here. It's been raining this whole weekend, but
still? Yeah,
dude, there's like flash floods everywhere. Yeah, 269. He did throw 2 picks. One of them I thought was not his fault. One of them I thought was a bad one. But I mean, he outdueled Spencer Rattler in the sense that he got the win. But I mean, Spencer threw for 350 yards in his game. They rushed the ball 31 times for -2 yards. That's a problem.
I didn't realize Hawaii's quarterback threw 706 yards.
What?
And they lost.
What are you talking? He didn't throw for 760 yards.
Oh, he's played 2 games as well. I was wondering. I'm sorry.
You want to come back here to the show here, my friend?
Right. I'm just trying to find the guy that went 38 to 41 so I don't sound stupid.
Well, it's hard you to not sound stupid.
Thanks, buddy. Any faith in Spencer Rattler? Did he look okay?
I mean, he threw for 350 yards. You can't hate that.
Against? Oh, okay. I forgot who he played against.
You want to come back?
North Carolina has no defense.
Okay, but still.
Okay. Let's take a break, and when we come back, we're talking about our MLB top 5 teams. It's good stuff on the other side of the show.
All right, and welcome back here to this Monday edition of the AM Drive post Week 1 in college football. Here we are presented by Shank It Golf. Our friends over at Shank It Golf want to remind you that even if you play bad, you can look good doing it. Visit shankitgolf.com or mikeandaarondrive.com and click the link that looks like this. When you are there, shop till you drop. Use promo code AMDrive for a full 15% off of your order. Tell the boys at Shank It Golf that the boys at AM Drive sent you. And for that, we are #Shankful.
Yay. I still love that.
November, we should do like #Give Shanks.
That's right. Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving, yeah.
I crack us up. Major League Baseball top 5 teams. Aaron, would you like to go first here? I have a very surprising number 5 team, just to let you know.
Oh, do you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we missed last week, or we
did because Monday you did not show up.
Yeah, we missed last week. So yeah, I have a new entrant into my top 5 as well.
Ooh.
But the other stuff has remained relatively constant here. Texas, see ya. You out.
Yes, agreed.
Number 1, Atlanta Braves. Number 2, LA Dodgers. Number 3, Baltimore Orioles. I know you have a better record than the Dodgers, but I trust the Dodgers more than I trust you.
Yeah.
Number 4, those pesky Rays who just keep losing all their good players and still find a way to, be with us here. I got to fix this camera. And then number 5, those Seattle Mariners. We talk about the AL West. You've had Houston in there so long. We've had Texas in there so long. Let's put the team that's leading the damn AL West in my top 5. So Atlanta, LA, Baltimore, Tampa Bay, and Seattle.
Tampa what? Hey, Bay. Coach Prime. I'm sorry.
You reached for that one.
I really did. Okay, so number 1, the Braves, the home of the Atlanta Braves.
Can you even make an argument for anyone else? No, right?
No, they have Acuna Jr. as the best player in baseball, possibly. Now that Shohei Ohtani has a UCL injury, that's true. And
how about Acuna becoming the first 30-60 guy in Major League history? 30 homers and 60 stolen bases.
He needs to give some of those back to the blind. Okay. He stole them. Come on, man.
I get it, but he didn't steal them from blind people.
Acuna Jr.'s foundation for stolen bases, I don't know. Everyone he steals, he gives back $5,000. I don't know. That'd be cool.
Maybe
I got real sentimental just now, okay?
Maybe every time he steals a base, Waffle House gives out a free entree.
Yo, do they have Waffle Houses in Vegas?
No.
That's bad. That is rough. I'm not moving there. Number 2, the Dodgers. Good Lord. Number 3, Aaron, I'm going with the Rays. Because in a playoff scenario, they're still only 2 games. In a playoff scenario, I trust them more. They're still only 2 games back of that team. After all that's happened, after that great start and they kind of fell off. Well, falling off is still second best record in the AL East and still very close to that best record.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not like scrubs at this point. It shocked me how good they are. So number 4 are the Orioles, and number 5. I was this close to going the Mariners. I know I teased them 2 weeks ago on the show when I said they were rising up pretty quickly. Unfortunately, the Houston Astros are 42-27 on the road, and I'll take that road record. I'm big on road record and run differential, and Astros have one of those things working for them. So if they make it in, I've got them. But obviously, if they don't, I'm screwed. And the Mariners are my number 5 team. But for now, playoffs haven't started yet. Astros number 5.
It's nice. That's a tough one for me. It's just, you're right. They have the same amount. They both have the same amount of wins. It's just, I don't know. I don't know about the Astros.
I thought Mariners would be more ahead, but apparently their hot streak may be coming to an end soon. So we'll see.
That's true. And you know what? That division, we talked about the AL East all year. That division's probably going to be the one to get 3 teams in.
Imagine What?
We know it's not the Central, but it's so.
Can you imagine if the Rangers had their healthy pitchers?
You mean like Jacob deGrom?
That'd be nice, yeah.
It would be nice, wouldn't it?
I don't even know if they still. Well, they might be the number, 3 team at that point still.
Well, that's probably true. They would, yeah. If they had Jacob deGrom and then picked up Max Scherzer at the deadline, that would be pretty damn impressive.
Interesting.
Fun fact:
what?
if the Boston Red Sox were in the AL Central, they would be in first place.
We've said that all year long, Aaron.
I know it makes me sad because they're in fourth.
Please, sad. Braves defeat the Dodgers 2 out of 3 games. Aaron, how impressive was this to you? I did not watch any of these, but I will say I'm not mad as a Georgia resident.
Yeah, why don't you just say where you live? Why are you Savannah-ish? No one cares. Just say where you live.
It's weird. No one knows where Guyton is.
Yeah,
That's
you're
why
right.
I say Savannah.
Yeah, you're right. Do you know where Jessup is? I got a friend that's from
Yeah,
Jessup.
but it's still farther away than you think.
Oh, I didn't ask where. I didn't ask if it was near you. I just didn't.
I know where
if you
Jessup is, but it's like I know where Atlanta is too.
That's
4
not
hours away.
That's not the same. Atlanta's a large metropolitan city.
Right, but yeah, but Savannah is where I'm around. It's the
I
landmark.
stopped in Brunswick once at a Whataburger. That was good.
Bro, they have a what?
Not anymore, they don't.
God, oh, I
They
want
used
to
to have
try the
Whataburgers-
place.
They used to have Whataburgers in Florida. I remember when I was in college, they had a Whataburger like down the street. And I went there one time at like 6 a.m. You know how like 24 hours? I went there at like 6 a.m. one time, and I'm not gonna lie, I was a little intoxicated. I asked one of those like shower questions. I was like, "Am I your latest customer or your earliest customer?" Because I could be both right now.
Oh my God, I've
mean,
never
think
been
of-
to a Whataburger.
You're missing out, buddy.
I've never even
They're
seen
built-
one.
They're building them here in Vegas. I think they're going to be here next year.
I know I saw you posting about it. You were excited.
It's the best fast food, 100%. Yeah, Braves. The most impressive thing to me is they walked into Dodger Stadium and took 2 out of 3, including some beatdowns in this one. The MVP race has been going back and forth between Betts and Acuna. I think Acuna took a commanding lead, a respectable lead in that MVP race.
Poor Otani.
Well, he's in a different league, but yes,
Still.
he's probably going to win the AL. I think he's locked it up. I think he's like
Wow.
minus 1,500, even if he does, doesn't play the rest of the year. And they're going to finish like 4th in that division. That's what I don't like. It's like, okay, yeah, he's the MVP, but your team's 13 and a half games back.
It's like he's the most player. He's not the most valuable player at that point.
Yeah, he's the most awesome player. He's the map.
That's right, MAP.
Yeah. But yeah, it's fun to watch that because, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, do we really see another threat? I know the Phillies came out of nowhere last year and got hot at the right time, but I mean, the Brewers, maybe the Phillies, if, like I said, if the stars align again. The Cubs, if they can get in, I don't know.
Cubs are close.
I think they're the second wild card.
Wow.
They're the second wild card, and there's 4 teams tied for the third wild card.
Where'd they come from?
They've been just mildly above average all year.
Wow, I'm surprised.
But I mean, I like I said, I look at this team and I'm like, okay, Philly, the Cubs, the Marlins, the Giants, the Diamondbacks, the Reds, the Padres are pretty much out. But
The fathers.
who is threatening the Braves and the Dodgers?
Who would get hot? The Marlins? I don't. The Giants are always a tough one because they always sneak in. I know years ago they did. They would sneak in every year and like just win.
Right.
But they don't have the same roster, so that wouldn't even be a thing anymore. I don't know. Reds have the nice young talent.
The Reds would be fun because it would be like a house money kind of thing. Like
Right.
they have nothing to lose. But that's the same with the Marlins too, in my
Right.
opinion. For my money, just being an American League guy, I always like it when the Cubbies are good.
Oh, I've always my peak baseball moment in my life was watching the Cubs win the World Series, even though they tried to blow it in Game 7.
Tried to blow it the whole series. They were down 3-1.
Yeah, but like it was just knowing their history. I was like, wow, like they were like worse than the Browns, and they still found a way to win. So it was great.
Yeah, I again, even with liking the Cubbies, the only real threat for me is Philadelphia, and I don't know.
Right. I think Marlins owned by Garrett Jeter somewhere. Like he has some say in that organization.
No, he used to be the GM, but he's resigned like 2 years ago.
Oh, forget him then. I don't even know. I'm rooting for the Reds at this point, or the Cubs.
Yeah, I'm rooting for the Reds or the Cubs.
Cubs by default, the Reds because they're fun.
But let's be honest, it's Braves Dodgers in the LCS, right?
Yeah, because those teams they're established too. Usually, like baseball has like 1 here, 1 there. These two teams have been there for like the last 3 years. It feels like.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So it's like it feels
minus
like
the Phillies.
It's just a rivalry at this point. So yeah, LCS Braves Dodgers.
I like it.
In favor of those Dodgers. I mean, of the Braves. Good Lord.
I was gonna say I don't know about that, but
that was criminal. Oh, you want to take the one last segment here, or do you just want to talk about our division preview? Conference preview.
We definitely we spent some time on these. They're definitely very raw. Hope you guys enjoy them. Talked about the obviously the conference previews for the AFC and the NFC. We deferred on more than I thought we would.
Wow.
That's because you were Mr. putting in every single game, and I was Mr. Wing It. So
that was fun. That was a fun little wrinkle in it.
I think I might try that predictor though. Just
it
to
is
kind
fun.
of. It's very time consuming though. So
yeah, it wasn't bad though.
Can I do it on an iPad?
Yes, but remember, don't try to log out because you better create an account first because it will just erase everything. You'll be like in week 12 and get tired and then it will all go away.
Well, if you get a chance, check it out. It's exclusive on our YouTube page.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know how to get there, go to mikeandaarondrive.com and click the YouTube logo. It'll take you right there. But make sure you subscribe while you're there because that helps us out.
It's one of those, yeah.
Tremendously. #tremendously. This week's going to be fun. We got, obviously, college football. The NFL starts up. Wednesday's show, we're going to be previewing Detroit and Kansas City. The NFL's back. It's time to start hitting some people. But will Chris Jones be on the field? I don't know. We'll have to talk about that as well. But until then, enjoy Monday and Tuesday. I don't know. Enjoy Monday and Tuesday of your sports week. We'll see you guys on Wednesday. For Michael Carvelis, I'm Aaron Crouch saying, gamble responsibly. And, of course, as always,